Growing up in New Jersey, you'd mentioned Bruce Springsteen. You know, you guys are from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. We know that he carries a special cachet in New Jersey, almost saint-like.
Yeah.
And you know, you probably can't be not influenced by him in some way. But then I'm sure there's a certain time where you have to break from it, and you guys all obviously do.
Right.
At what point do you become sophisticated enough? You keep mentioning some of the names that you're starting to deal with, Smiths, you're dealing with Bowie, etc. Is this happening in high school, where your musical sophistication is growing? Middle school, so it's happening.
And it's because I had a cool friend. That's really.
Well,
it's always a cool friend or like an older friend, but like this dude named Dan DePask, he was my age, and he was watching specials on Channel 13 about Sonic Youth, like in middle school. He was bringing me like records like Daydream Nation, and we'd go to Pier Platters in Hoboken together and buy really weird records. So almost already bypassing like even modern rock and even like cool punk. This was like even weirder stuff. Like Sonic Youth was super weird at the time.
And that's pretty sophisticated music.
Yeah, in middle school, so I had a cool friend.
Yeah.
That's what.
It's
Where do you go? What towns are you guys from?
Belleville.
Yeah, I'm
from Kearney.
Kearney, Belleville. So all around the Newark area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So when you mention Hoboken, which is what, 5 or 6 miles due east, close to New York City, there's a great club where I know you guys played,
right.
Maxwell's, right? So
Yeah.
you go from playing at some point these small clubs, and then all of a sudden you're into arenas. But there's some stories that we want to tell before that, and one of them is being from New Jersey. September 11, 2001, a monumental time for America, for everybody on the planet is touched by that. But people in Jersey who actually could see the smoke and what actually was happening, and you guys from Belleville or Newark, I don't know if you could, but certainly on the shore, we could see what was going on there. Let's describe that and how that impacts the band, if you will.
That was a surreal day. I remember waking up and turning on the TV and seeing that the first plane had already hit and being like, oh man, what a weird, accident. Yeah, what a weird accident. Yeah. And then you're watching, and then all of a sudden you see the second plane hit. And I remember it was like a movie, like seeing it on TV and then running outside and looking to see the skyline and just seeing all this smoke. And it was just like, you felt like you're in like that Independence Day movie or something.
Yeah.
It's like under attack. And it was horrible. I mean, I remember my mom just crying and not understanding, really, like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
Yeah.
You just felt helpless.
Mm-hmm.
It affected the band in a giant way. I mean, I just remember I was in Hoboken, and I was on my way into the city, and a lot of people that are fans of the band know the story, but I remember it was like watching a horror movie, and I remember really, I didn't understand it at the time, but what I ended up processing in my head was, this isn't a game. Like, this is... Like, life isn't a game. Like, this isn't something you just waste.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing something, like, really irrelevant at the time, that I didn't feel was important. And I remember just thinking that to myself, that this is not a waste. I can't waste this. And it was literally, like, 2 weeks later we had our first rehearsal.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously there's a lot of... byproducts of 9/11. I think we're interesting because we're one of the most direct byproducts of an incident happening. Like so instantly in 2 weeks. So, but yeah, that kind of started the band in a weird way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are the first rehearsals like? Anybody remember them?
I remember them really vividly. Yeah, there was it was me and Otter at first, and we had gotten together. And we'd rented rooms because that's all you could do. So we'd get money together, and I'd play guitar and I would sing, and he'd play the drums, and that's all it was. It was just us. And then I remember the stuff I was trying to sing was so complicated that I couldn't, because I'm not a good guitar player, so I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. I realized I wanted something more than 3-chord punk where somebody was just singing over it. I didn't want that sound. So I remember seeing Ray in a band that played locally called the Rodneys. And I remember feeling like when I saw him play, I felt like, wow, this is like the best guitar player I've ever seen. So I called him up, and he was doing something totally different in his life at the time. You were like drums, right?
I was playing drums in a, just like a local band with some friends. And he had given me a call. I was, we had met, I think, through a friend of ours, mutual friend, Sean Dillon, that he had gone to art school with, and I knew Mikey, and yeah, he just gave me the call and said that they were working on a new band, some songs, and would you want to come over and just hang out and play really.
And I remember I had like a good feeling about it. I had this weird feeling. I think I even said that. I remember even saying it on the phone to him. Like, I think I have a good feeling about this.
I definitely remember you. Yeah, he was right, obviously, right? Yeah, if ever Gerard says he's got a good feeling, go with it. No, I definitely remember, and I think that's something for all of us. Like, it definitely felt like we were fulfilling some kind of destiny, or like, doing what we were really meant to do.
Like when you picked up the guitar for the first time, did like air, like wind blow and like it lit up?
Yeah, it was a light from the heavens. Come on.
It felt like that when we played our first almost full band. Before Frank was in the band, we played our first actual rehearsal with Mikey playing bass. It kind of felt like that. You were just like,
well, it felt really special, and we had all. We had all played, Gerard and Mikey had played in bands, the guy had played, but it never felt like that. There was something really special about just the music and, and his voice combined with everything. And,
right.
You knew you were, you knew you were part of something different.
But then a couple months later, it felt
it got even better. It really felt complete.
really good.